Why does a 2,000-year-old ruin still outperform our billion-dollar NFL stadiums in pure engineering spectacle? From managing 50,000 spectators through sophisticated vaulted corridors to its terrifying subterranean trapdoors, the Flavian Amphitheater was built for more than just games. Discover the 10 reasons why Rome's masterpiece is still the world's greatest arena. And by the end, you'll see modern stadiums for what they really are: expensive imitations that still can't match the original. Mastering the flow of 50,000. Modern Stadium 2026. You arrive at AT&T Stadium for game day. The parking lot is chaos. You shuffle through security for 45 minutes. Metal detectors, bag checks, the works. You finally reach your seat as the kickoff happens. The Coloseum, 80 AD. 50,000 Romans arrive. Each ticket has a number. That number corresponds to one of 80 arched entrances. You walk directly to your arch. No line, no confusion. You step through a vomitorium, the perfect name for a corridor that vomits you directly into your seating section. Within minutes, all 50,000 people are seated. When the show ends, full evacuation in under 10 minutes. 10 minutes for 50,000 people. Try that at the Super Bowl, and you're stuck in a parking lot for 2 hours. But here's the genius part. Those 80 entrances weren't just for speed. They were for control. The social sorting machine. The Coliseum had 5 tiers. Your social class determined your entrance and your seat. Senators, front row, special entrances. Equestrians, second tier. Common citizens, middle sections. Women and slaves, the nosebleeds. Sound familiar? That's because every modern stadium copied this exact system. VIP boxes, club seats, general admission, upper deck. Except the Romans didn't need security guards to enforce it. The architecture did it for them. Your entrance arch physically led to your tier. You couldn't sneak into better seats because the vomitoria wouldn't let you. Modern stadiums spend millions on security to enforce what Roman architects encoded in stone. The Colosseum didn't just move people. It sorted them like a machine. And it did it faster than anything we've built since. The Subterranean Engine Room. Now let's go underground. Beneath the Colosseum's arena floor was the Hypogeum, 2 stories deep, a maze of tunnels, elevators, and trapdoors. This wasn't storage. This was a special effects engine. 28 manual elevator shafts. Each one could lift gladiators, animals, or scenery through the floor in seconds. Imagine the show. A gladiator is fighting. Suddenly, a trap door opens. A lion rises from below. The crowd erupts. The fight continues. Another trap door. A tree emerges. Now it's a forest battle. No CGI. No stage crew dragging props. Just instant theatrical stagecraft hidden beneath the floor. Compare that to modern stadiums. Want to switch from football to a concert? That's a 3-day conversion. Forklifts, crews, heavy equipment, millions in labor costs. The Colosseum could go from a gladiator duel to a wild animal hunt to a theatrical performance, all in the same afternoon. The floor itself was the special effect. And here's the kicker. The audience never saw it coming. Every trapdoor was a surprise. Every entrance was dramatic. Modern halftime shows? Predictable. You watch crews drag equipment onto the field for 15 minutes while you grab a hot dog. The Romans didn't pause the action. They amplified it from below. The Hypogeum was live television before screens existed. Instant scene changes, instant chaos, instant spectacle. Your billion-dollar Jumbotron can't compete with a lion appearing from nowhere. Unrivaled multi-climate adaptability. Let's talk about climate control. Modern retractable roofs cost over $1 billion. A T&T Stadium's roof alone was $1.2 billion in 2009 money. It's an engineering marvel. Motors, steel, glass, computer systems to operate it. The Romans? Sailcloth and rope. The Velarium, a massive canvas awning stretched across the top of the Colosseum, operated by sailors because only sailors understood rigging that complex. It wasn't fully retractable in the modern sense. It was adjustable. As the sun moved, the crew adjusted the canvas to follow the shade. Real-time climate control without a single motor. Cost? Some canvas, some rope, a crew of sailors who were already on payroll. And when they didn't need it, they removed it. No billion-dollar roof sitting unused for 6 months a year. The passive cooling system. But the real genius was in the corridors. The vomitoria weren't just crowd channels. They were wind tunnels. The design caught natural airflow and circulated it through the structure. No air conditioning, no electricity. Just architecture that worked with the environment instead of fighting it. Modern stadiums pump in enough air conditioning to power a small city. The carbon footprint is insane. The Coliseum breathed. Naturally. Low-tech brilliance beats high-tech expense every single time. Engineering the impossible, aquatic stage. Now we get to the part that sounds like a myth, but isn't. The Romans flooded the Coliseum for Naumachia naval battles. Read that again. They turned a stone amphitheater into a functional lake, fought actual ship battles, then drained it, and did it again the next day. How? Sophisticated waterproofing. Roman concrete that could cure underwater. A drainage system capable of moving millions of gallons without compromising structural integrity. They understood hydrology at a level we're still trying to decode. Modern NFL stadiums can barely handle a rainstorm without field damage. The Coliseum casually became a harbor whenever they felt like it. Show me one modern stadium that can host a sea battle. I'll wait. The closest we get is filling a field with a temporary pool for a one-time event. And it takes weeks of prep and millions of dollars. The Romans did it on a Tuesday. Here's the versatility breakdown. Day 1, gladiator fights. Day 2, naval battle, arena flooded. Day 3, animal hunt. Day 4, theatrical performance. Day 5, public execution. Same structure, minimal conversion time, maximum spectacle. Modern, multi-purpose stadiums can host football and concerts if they get 3 days' notice. The Coliseum could be anything, anytime. That's not multi-purpose. That's architectural sorcery. The blueprint for global dominance. Let's talk about why the Coliseum's design is still the blueprint everyone copies. The ellipse. The Coliseum isn't a circle, it's an ellipse. Why? Sight lines. An ellipse ensures that every seat has an unobstructed view of the arena floor. The geometry prevents blind spots. No matter where you sat, even at the top, you could see everything. Modern stadiums try to replicate this, but rely on jumbotrons to fix bad angles. If you need a giant screen to see the game, your sight lines failed. The Coliseum didn't need screens. The geometry did the work. Every seat was a good seat. Not because of luxury, because of math. The materials. Now, let's talk durability. The Coliseum is 2,000 years old, still standing, still functional enough for tourists to walk through. Modern stadiums are considered old after 40 years. They get demolished because maintaining them costs more than rebuilding. Why the difference? Roman concrete, made with volcanic ash. It creates a chemical reaction that makes it stronger over time, especially when exposed to seawater. Modern concrete degrades. Roman concrete improves. The foundation is limestone and volcanic rock. The walls are travertine, built from materials designed to last millennia. Modern stadiums are steel, glass, and cost-cutting. They're built for profit, not posterity. The Romans built for eternity. We build for the next lease agreement. The template everyone follows. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Every major stadium built in the last century is trying to replicate the Coliseum. Elliptical shape? Copied. Tiered seating? Copied. Multiple entrances for crowd flow? Copied. Underground staging areas? Copied. Retractable coverings? Copied. Poorly. Even the term arena comes from the Latin word for sand, because the Colosseum's floor was covered in sand to absorb blood. The Coliseum isn't ancient history. It's the template modern engineers study and fail to improve upon. We just made it more expensive and less durable. The acoustic miracle. Here's something most people don't realize. The Coliseum had near-perfect acoustics without microphones or speakers. A person standing in the center of the arena could be heard clearly by all 50,000 spectators. How? The elliptical shape and stone composition created natural sound amplification. Voices bounced off the walls in a way that distributed audio evenly. Modern stadiums need massive speaker arrays and sound engineers to achieve what the Coliseum did with geometry. The Romans understood that architecture could be its own sound system. Zero electricity, maximum spectacle. No lights, no speakers, no motors, no computers. The Coliseum operated on manpower, gravity, and genius design. And yet, it delivered a more immersive, more surprising, more spectacular experience than anything we build today. Modern stadiums require massive infrastructure, power grids, HVAC systems, digital displays, and Wi-Fi networks. The Coliseum required stone, rope, and sailors. One is dependent on technology, the other is architecture as technology. Guess which one still works after 2,000 years? The maintenance myth. Modern stadiums require constant, expensive maintenance. The Coliseum? It's been sitting there for 2 millennia with minimal intervention. Earthquakes, stone robbers, weather, wars, still standing. The maintenance cost of modern stadiums is part of why they get demolished. It's cheaper to tear them down and rebuild than to keep them running. The Coliseum's maintenance cost for 2,000 years is probably less than 1 year of keeping a TNT stadium operational. Durability isn't expensive, it's priceless. The spectacle versus the simulation. Modern stadiums rely on screens to enhance the experience. Instant replays, player stats, advertisements, all on massive LED boards. The Coliseum relied on physical spectacle, real animals, real fights, real surprises. There's a fundamental difference. Modern stadiums simulate excitement through technology. The Coliseum generated excitement through its architecture. One is passive, the other is visceral. You watch a screen, you experience an arena. It's still the greatest. Here's the final, undeniable truth. If you dropped the Coliseum into 2026 with its original systems fully operational, it would immediately become the best stadium in the world. Better crowd flow than any modern venue. Better versatility than any multi-purpose arena. Better sightlines than any luxury stadium. Better durability than anything built in the last century. The only thing it lacks is electricity. And honestly, that's not a downgrade. That's a reminder of what real engineering looks like. So why does a 2,000-year-old ruin outperform billion-dollar modern stadiums? Because the Romans didn't build for quarterly earnings. They built for eternity. They didn't build with shortcuts. They built with genius. They didn't fight the environment. They worked with it. And they didn't need technology to create spectacle. They used architecture as spectacle. Modern stadiums are impressive. The Coliseum is legendary. We didn't surpass Roman engineering. We just made it more complicated and less permanent. The Coliseum stands as proof that sometimes the old ways were the best ways. Every retractable roof is a tribute to the Valerium. Every underground staging area is an homage to the Hypogeum. Every elliptical stadium is an attempt to replicate Roman geometry. We're not innovating, we're imitating, and we're still not doing it as well. The Flavian Amphitheater isn't a ruin, it's a standard we keep failing to meet. If you want more videos exposing how ancient engineering puts modern construction to shame, subscribe. Rome has more lessons to teach us than we're willing to admit. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.